Today I think I'm going to talk a little bit about the Abridged series. I didn't really write anything down, so this is totally like unplanned. But it doesn't really matter because it's really like a short discussion. If you don't know, an Abridged series is like an anime condensed, and it's like a spoof. So it'll be like a 30-minute episode shortened to like 5 to 10 minutes at the most usually. It's dubbed and edited really well. There's millions upon millions of Abridged series and episodes, but only a couple of them are really funny and stand out. My first Abridged series was Berserk Abridged by HBI2K. It was really good. I loved it. I didn't think it was possible to do a Berserk Abridged because if you haven't seen Berserk, the ending's really depressing, so anyone who has seen Berserk or read the manga would think, how is he going to do the ending? Because it's supposed to be funny, and it's like impossible to make funny. And he handled that really well, I thought, and he really gave it a lot of thought. HBI2K also starts a lot of trends. He started the trend of introducing co-stars, like he would have like Little Kuribo do a voice to someone. He also introduced doing commentaries. So that was really cool because a lot of Abridged series afterwards did the commentaries. After he did Berserk Abridged, he went on to Gaunt's. That's also a hard series. He picks all these hard series. It's way easier than Berserk in terms of difficulty, but it's still pretty hard. Also, the ending's very depressing, and I thought he handled that very well. I'm not going to ruin the ending. It always ends on like a cliffhanger though. Both of those animes, they end on a cliffhanger. Like, the manga isn't finished, but like it goes on for way too long, so they just like stop at a good stopping point, quote unquote. And it's really not a good stopping point because you're like at the climax. Like, everything's gone to shit and then they stop. Like, everything's gone to hell and they stop. It's like, why did you stop? No, don't end on a depressing note. We want to know what happens after that. Anyway, I won't ruin it, but if you've watched the series, I'm just going to let you know the manga goes on, like, way farther than that. And it's way better. Speaking of Little Kuribo, he was, like, the second series I watched. I was really late in the game for Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, so he had to change his account because YouTube tried taking it down. But obviously they failed because there's millions of people who post Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged daily. And he's really funny. However, I will say he's a professional voice actor, so he does have an advantage over HBI2K. HBI2K probably is the most voice-challenged actor because he used up a lot of voices in, like, Berserk, so he couldn't use the same voice after Gantz. He's really good, but he's not as good as, like, Little Kuribo. You're not going to be as good as Little Kuribo. So he had an edge. Little Kuribo has an edge, and also he picked like an easier anime. Like, it's still pretty hard to make fun of Yu-Gi-Oh! Since it's so ridiculous. Like, how do you make it any more like funny? It's so stupid. Especially when 4Kids took it over, and he managed to do it. He was like the best. His series is by far the best out of any of the Abridged series for obvious reasons, because it's the funniest. However, it's not the hardest on the scale of difficulty. The one I think that was on the high end of scale of difficulty from 1 to 10 was definitely Bennett the Sage's Elfen Lied Abridged. It was not that good, I will admit. The voice acting was pretty good. Like, he did the girls' voices very well. HBI2K's girls' voices were hilarious. So is Sakura's, though, in Naruto Abridged. So, it all depends on the character. And Bennett the Sage did a really good job with Lucy and Yuka. He also made a lot of things funny that shouldn't have been funny, which was really good, but it was like impossible to make that series as good as Little Kuribo's or any other Abridged series because that is a really depressing series. Another series I watch a lot of is Naruto Abridged. I think that's the second best. Also, it's not the hardest anime. Obviously, for obvious reasons, Naruto can get ridiculous. But it's really well done. Like, the voices are amazing. I know there's two people in it. It's not like one person. so it's not as impressive as Little Kuribo, but still, Little Kuribo's like professional. Naruto Abridged has like really good voices. I was like really surprised. I was like, wow, these voices are like amazing. How do they come up with all of them? They all sound different. Like, I thought there was more than 2 people. I thought there was like 5.